The sleek, silvery spacecraft slipped through the inky void of space, its powerful engines propelling it toward the shimmering blue-green orb of Earth. On board, Zara Xelion sat in quiet contemplation, her slender fingers steepled beneath her chin as she gazed out the viewport at the approaching planet. As an Elari, one of the most technologically advanced and enigmatic species in the galaxy, Zara was used to being an object of fascination and speculation among the lesser races. With their soaring, willowy frames, luminous silver skin, and large, almond-shaped eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the universe, the Elari were often regarded as almost godlike beings, possessed of a wisdom and sophistication that few could comprehend. But Zara was not like most Elari, where her people were content to remain aloof and detached from the affairs of the galaxy, preferring to pursue their own inscrutable agendas in isolation. Zara had always been driven by a deep fascination with the diversity and complexity of the cosmos. She was a diplomat by trade, but an explorer and adventurer at heart, forever seeking out new worlds and new civilizations to engage with and learn from. And now, her latest mission had brought her to Earth, a world that had long been a source of curiosity and speculation among the galactic community. For centuries, the people of Earth had remained blissfully unaware of the existence of life beyond their own planet, content to live out their lives in ignorance of the wonders and dangers that lurked in the vastness of space. But all that had changed a few short years ago, when a chance encounter with a Terran trading vessel had brought the people of Earth into sudden and dramatic contact with the wider galaxy. In the blink of an eye, humanity had gone from a relatively primitive and isolated species to a major player on the galactic stage, with all the opportunities and challenges that entailed. As Zara's ship entered Earth's atmosphere and began its descent toward the planet's surface, she couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation. She had read extensively about human culture and history, but there was nothing quite like experiencing it firsthand. She knew that the people of Earth were a complex and contradictory species, capable of great kindness and compassion, but also of terrible cruelty and destruction. They were a young race, still finding their way in the universe, and Zara was eager to play a role in helping them navigate the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead. As the ship touched down on the landing pad of the United Nations headquarters in New York City, Zara took a deep breath and composed herself. She knew that the next few days would be crucial in shaping the future of human-Elari relations, and she was determined to make the most of the opportunity. She was greeted at the landing pad by a delegation of human officials, led by a tall, handsome man with piercing blue eyes and a confident bearing. "Ambassador Xelion," he said, extending his hand in greeting. "Welcome to Earth. I'm David Prescott, the United Nations Special Envoy for Extraterrestrial Affairs." Zara took his hand and shook it firmly, noting the warmth and strength of his grip. "Thank you, Mr. Prescott," she said, her voice soft and melodic. "I'm honored to be here, and I look forward to working with you and your people in the days ahead." As they made their way into the towering glass and steel building that housed the United Nations, Zara couldn't help but marvel at the sheer diversity of the people around her. She saw humans of every color and creed, from every corner of the planet, all united in their desire to build a better future for their species. Over the next few days, Zara met with a wide range of human leaders and dignitaries, from presidents and prime ministers to scientists and scholars. She listened intently to their concerns and aspirations, and shared with them her own people's wisdom and experience in navigating the complexities of galactic diplomacy. Through it all, she found herself developing a deep respect and admiration for the human spirit. Despite their many flaws and shortcomings, she saw in them a fierce determination and resilience, a willingness to confront even the most daunting challenges head-on. She began to understand why so many in the galaxy regarded humanity as a species to watch, a rising power with the potential to shape the future in profound and unpredictable ways. But even as Zara marveled at humanity's potential, she couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. She had heard whispers and rumors of a shadowy group within the galactic community, a cabal of powerful individuals who viewed humanity's rise with suspicion and fear. They saw in humans a potential threat to the established order, a wild card that could upset the delicate balance of power that had held sway for centuries. As she delved deeper into these rumors, Zara began to uncover a web of intrigue and conspiracy that threatened to unravel the very fabric of galactic society. She learned of secret meetings and backroom deals, of powerful corporations and rogue governments that were working to undermine humanity's efforts to take its place among the stars. At the center of it all was a figure known only as the Overseer, a mysterious individual who seemed to hold the strings of power behind the scenes. No one knew the Overseer's true identity or motives, but one thing was clear: they would stop at nothing to maintain their grip on the galaxy, even if it meant sacrificing the future of an entire species. Zara knew that she had to act fast if she was to have any hope of stopping the Overseer and their minions. She began to reach out to her contacts and allies across the galaxy, building a coalition of like-minded individuals who shared her vision of a future in which all species could coexist in peace and harmony. At the same time, she worked to strengthen humanity's position on the galactic stage, brokering deals and forging alliances that would help to secure their place in the broader community of nations. She knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, but she was determined to see it through to the end. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Zara found herself growing ever closer to the human delegation, and to David Prescott in particular. The two of them had developed a deep bond of friendship and trust, born of their shared commitment to building a better future for all. But even as their relationship deepened, Zara couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, that the Overseer and their agents were closing in on them with every passing day. She knew that time was running out, and that she would have to act soon if she was to have any hope of stopping them. The climax came on a cold, rainy night in New York City, as Zara and David walked together through the deserted streets of Manhattan. They had just emerged from a long and grueling negotiation session with a delegation of Tauran diplomats, and both of them were exhausted and on edge. As they turned a corner onto a quiet side street, Zara suddenly sensed a presence behind them. She whirled around, her hand instinctively reaching for the concealed energy weapon at her side. But it was too late. A figure emerged from the shadows, a blaster leveled directly at her chest. "Ambassador Xelion," the figure said, their voice cold and emotionless. "You have meddled in affairs that do not concern you. The Overseer has decreed that you must be eliminated for the greater good of the galaxy." Zara's mind raced as she stared down the barrel of the blaster. She knew that she had only seconds to act, to find a way out of this impossible situation. But even as she racked her brain for a solution, she heard David's voice, calm and steady, from behind her. "You're making a mistake," he said, stepping forward to stand beside Zara. "The Ambassador is here as a friend and ally of humanity. If you harm her, you'll be setting the stage for a conflict that could tear the galaxy apart." The assassin hesitated, their finger tightening on the trigger. "The Overseer's orders are clear," they said, but there was a note of uncertainty in their voice. "Humanity must be kept in check, for the sake of the greater good." "And who gets to decide what the greater good is?" David asked, his voice growing louder and more impassioned. "The Overseer? A faceless, nameless entity who operates in the shadows, manipulating the fate of entire species for their own benefit." He took another step forward, his eyes locked on the assassins. "No," he said, shaking his head. "I refuse to believe that. I believe in a galaxy where all species have a voice, where decisions are made in the open, through dialogue and cooperation. And I believe that the Ambassador shares that vision." For a long, tense moment, the three of them stood there in the rain-soaked alley, the only sound the pounding of the water on the pavement. Then, slowly, the assassin lowered their weapon, a look of confusion and doubt on their face. I don't know," they said, their voice barely above a whisper. "I've always followed the Overseer's orders without question. But now, now I'm not so sure." Zara stepped forward, her hand outstretched in a gesture of peace. "It's not too late," she said, her voice soft and gentle. "You have a choice. You can be a part of building a better future for the galaxy, or you can continue to serve the agenda of those who seek to control and dominate it." The assassin looked at her, their eyes wide and uncertain. Then, slowly they reached out and took her hand, a look of determination settling over their features. "I choose the future," they said, their voice growing stronger with every word. "I choose to stand with you and with humanity. And I choose to fight for a galaxy where all species can live in peace and harmony." In the days and weeks that followed, Zara and David worked tirelessly to build on the momentum of that fateful night in the alley. They rallied their allies and supporters from across the galaxy, forging a powerful coalition that stood in opposition to the Overseer and their dark agenda. Together, they exposed the Overseer's schemes to the light of day, revealing the depths of their corruption and deceit. They brought the full weight of galactic law and public opinion to bear against them, forcing them to confront the consequences of their actions. And in the end, they emerged victorious. The Overseer and their minions scattered to the winds, their power broken forever. The galaxy had been transformed, the old order swept away in a tide of change and progress. As Zara stood on the balcony of the United Nations building, looking out over the gleaming spires of New York City, she felt a sense of profound happiness and fulfillment. She had accomplished what she had set out to do, and more. She had helped to guide humanity to its rightful place among the stars, and had played a part in building a brighter, more hopeful future for all. Well, that was quite an adventure, David said, coming up to stand beside her at the railing. I never thought I'd find myself caught up in the middle of a galactic conspiracy. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got to be a part of something so important. Zara turned to him, a warm smile on her face. You were wonderful, she said, reaching out to take his hand. I couldn't have done it without you. You showed me the true strength and courage of the human spirit, and I will never forget that. David grinned, his eyes twinkling with mischief. Well, I don't know about that, he said, but I do know one thing. I'm just a simple Earth boy at heart, and I think I've had my fill of galactic intrigue for a while. What do you say we take a little break, maybe go see some of the sights? Zara laughed, feeling a warmth and affection for him that she had never experienced before. That sounds perfect, she said, leaning in to kiss him gently on the cheek. I think we've both earned a little rest and relaxation. And so, hand in hand, the Elari diplomat and the human envoy walked off into the sunset, ready to face whatever new adventures and challenges the future might bring. They had saved the galaxy, and in doing so, had forged an unbreakable bond of friendship and love that would endure for all time. As the years passed, Zara and David's story became the stuff of legend, a shining example of what could be accomplished when two species, no matter how different, came together in the spirit of cooperation and understanding. They continued to work tirelessly for the betterment of the galaxy, using their unique talents and perspectives to bridge the gaps between cultures and civilizations. And though they faced many challenges and obstacles along the way, they never wavered in their commitment to each other or to the ideals that had brought them together. They were a team, a partnership, a living embodiment of the power of love and friendship to overcome even the greatest of odds. In the end, their legacy was one of hope and inspiration, a shining beacon of light in a galaxy that had once been shrouded in darkness. They had shown that anything was possible, that even the most intractable problems could be solved through dialogue, understanding, and a willingness to see the best in others. And as Zara looked back on her life, on the incredible journey that had brought her to this moment, she knew that she had been truly blessed. She had found her purpose, her calling, and in doing so, had helped to create a better, brighter future for all. With a sense of deep contentment and fulfillment, she turned to David, her partner and soulmate, and smiled. Thank you, she said, her voice soft and filled with emotion. Thank you for being by my side, for believing in me, and for showing me the true meaning of love and friendship. David smiled back at her, his eyes shining with the same deep affection and devotion. Thank you, he said, for being the most amazing, brilliant, and compassionate person I have ever known. I love you, Zara Xelion, and I always will. And with those words, they embraced, their hearts and souls forever entwined, a shining example of the power of love to conquer all. Even in the vastness of the galaxy, they had found each other, and in doing so, had found the greatest treasure of all, a love that would endure for all eternity. As the years turned into decades, Zara and David's love only grew stronger and more profound. They faced countless challenges and adventures together, their bond forged in the crucible of adversity and tempered by the unbreakable strength of their devotion to each other. They traveled the length and breadth of the galaxy, exploring strange new worlds and encountering civilizations both ancient and new. They marveled at the incredible diversity of life in the universe and worked tirelessly to foster understanding and cooperation between all peoples. Zara continued to serve as a diplomat, using her unique talents and insights to bring together even the most disparate and contentious factions. She became known throughout the galaxy as a voice of reason and compassion, a tireless advocate for peace and justice. At her side, David was a constant source of strength and support, his quick wit and boundless enthusiasm bringing joy and laughter to even the most trying of circumstances. Together, they were an unstoppable force for good, a shining example of what could be achieved when two hearts beat as one. As the decades passed, they watched as the galaxy underwent a profound transformation, as old rivalries and conflicts gave way to a new era of cooperation and unity. Species that had once been bitter enemies now worked side by side, building a brighter future for all. And at the center of it all, Zara and David remained, their love a beacon of hope and inspiration to all who knew them. They grew old together, their bond only deepening with each passing year, until they were inseparable, two halves of a single perfect whole. In their twilight years, they settled on a small, peaceful world on the edge of civilized space, a place of quiet beauty and tranquility. There, surrounded by the love of their family and friends, they looked back on a life well lived, a legacy of service and sacrifice that would endure long after they were gone. One evening, as they sat together on the porch of their home, watching the stars wheel overhead, Zara turned to David, her eyes shining with a love that had only grown stronger with time. "Do you remember the first time we met?" she asked, her voice soft and filled with emotion. "That day on Earth when you welcomed me to your world and your people." David smiled, his hand finding hers in the darkness. "Of course I do," he said. "It was the moment that changed my life forever. The moment I found my purpose, my reason for being." Zara nodded, her heart swelling with the depth of her love for him. "And do you remember what you said to me that night in the alley, when we faced down the overseer's assassin?" David chuckled softly, the memory still vivid in his mind. "I told him that I believed in a galaxy where all species had a voice," he said, "where decisions were made in the open, through dialogue and cooperation." "And you were right," Zara said, her voice filled with pride and admiration. "You showed me the true strength and courage of the human spirit, and together we made that vision a reality." David turned to her then, his eyes shining with a love that was as vast and enduring as the universe itself. "No, my love," he said softly. "We made that vision a reality, you and me, together, always and forever." And with those words, he drew her into his arms, their lips meeting in a kiss that was at once tender and passionate, a promise of a love that would endure for all eternity. As the stars continued to shine down upon them, Zara and David held each other close, their hearts and souls forever entwined. They had lived a life of purpose and meaning, a life filled with love and adventure, and they knew that they would continue to do so, even beyond the veil of death, for they were two halves of a single perfect whole. A love story for the ages, a testament to the power of the heart to overcome any obstacle, to forge a bond that could never be broken. And so, as they drifted off to sleep in each other's arms, Zara and David knew that they had truly found paradise, a love that would endure for all time, a shining beacon of hope and inspiration to all who followed in their footsteps. Their story would be told and retold for generations to come, a legend of love and courage that would never be forgotten, a reminder of the incredible heights that could be achieved when two hearts beat as one. And though they might one day pass from this world, their love would live on forever, a testament to the enduring power of the soul and to the unbreakable bonds of the heart. So ends the tale of Zara and David, the quantum diplomat and the Terran envoy, two souls who found each other across the vastness of space and time and whose love would endure for all eternity. May their story be a source of hope and inspiration to us all, a reminder of the incredible power of love to conquer any obstacle, to forge a bond that can never be broken. As the tale of Zara and David's love spread throughout the galaxy, it became a source of inspiration and hope for countless beings. Their story was one of unity, of the power of love to transcend all barriers and bring people together. It showed that even in the darkest of times, there was always a light to guide the way, a beacon of hope that could never be extinguished. In the years that followed, their legacy only grew stronger. The Galactic Council, once a body riven by conflict and mistrust, was transformed by their example. Species that had once been bitter enemies now worked together in harmony, united by a common purpose and a shared vision of the future. Under Zara's guidance, the Council became a true force for good in the galaxy, a shining example of what could be achieved when diverse peoples came together in the spirit of cooperation and understanding. She worked tirelessly to promote peace and justice, to ensure that every voice was heard and every being treated with dignity and respect. At her side, David was a constant source of strength and support, his love for her a guiding light that never wavered. Together, they faced every challenge and obstacle with courage and determination, their bond only growing stronger with each passing year. As they grew older, Zara and David knew that their time in this world was drawing to a close. But they faced the end with grace and acceptance, secure in the knowledge that their love would endure long after they were gone. In their final days, they returned to the small, peaceful world where they had made their home, surrounded by the love and admiration of all who knew them. And there, hand in hand, they slipped away into the great beyond, their souls forever entwined. But even in death, their legacy lived on. For the tale of Zara and David's love had become a part of the very fabric of the galaxy, a shining beacon of hope that would guide countless generations to come. And so, as the stars continued to shine down upon the galaxy, the story of the quantum diplomat and the Terran envoy passed into legend. But the love they shared, the bond they forged, would endure forever, a testament to the incredible power of the heart. For in the end, that was the true miracle of Zara and David's story. Not the incredible adventures they had shared, or the countless lives they had touched, but the simple, enduring power of their love for each other. It was a love that had transcended space and time, a love that had conquered every obstacle and challenge, a love that had shone like a beacon of hope in even the darkest of times. And as the galaxy continued to turn, as empires rose and fell and new wonders were discovered, the tale of Zara and David's love remained a constant, a reminder of the incredible heights that could be achieved when two hearts beat as one. So let us remember them, now always, as a shining example of what it means to truly love another. Let us honor their memory by striving to build a galaxy where all beings can live in peace and harmony, where every voice is heard and every heart is cherished. For in the end, that is the greatest legacy of Zara and David, the quantum diplomat and the Terran envoy. A legacy of hope, of unity, and of the enduring power of love. May their story continue to inspire us now and for all the ages to come. May it remind us of the incredible potential that lies within each and every one of us, the potential to make a difference, to leave the galaxy a better place than we found it. And may we all strive to live up to their example, to be the best that we can be, to love with all our hearts and to never, ever give up on the dream of a better tomorrow. For that is the true meaning of their story, the true message of their love. That no matter how dark the night may seem, there is always a dawn to come. That no matter how great the obstacle, love will always find a way. And so, let us go forth into the galaxy, armed with the knowledge of their love and the courage to face whatever challenges may come. Let us build a future worthy of their memory, a future where all beings can live in peace and harmony, where every heart is free to love and be loved in return. For that is the greatest gift that Zara and David have given us, the greatest legacy of their incredible journey. The reminder that, in the end, love is the most powerful force in the universe, the one thing that can never be defeated, the one thing that will always endure.